Hello everyone, my name is Ina and I am a communication specialist working for ECHO. I would like to welcome you all today. For this EURES podcast, we travel to the Netherlands to meet Erdal Egin, a EURES staff member who works on finding qualified people for the Dutch job market. Thank you for being here with us today, Erdal.
Thank you, Ina. It's my pleasure, and hello from the Netherlands.
Erdal, can you please tell us a few words about yourself? Where are you from and what is your background?
Yes, sure I can. I was born and raised in the beautiful city of Cologne, Germany, a son of first-generation labor migrants from Turkey. I remember the time when I was a kid, my father told me the story of how he ended up in Germany. In the early 60s, he traveled as tourist with a group of friends throughout Europe. I still remember seeing his pictures from Paris and Copenhagen, and once he arrived in Germany, he unexpectedly offered a job at a well-known car manufacturer, and well, long story short, our family stayed there for 20 years. We know that there are many reasons for migration based from our work, and the reason why I came to the Netherlands had simply to do with love. I've been living in the Netherlands for more than 32 years now. I am Dutch, I feel Dutch, and I feel completely at home here. But I have to say that integration does not come naturally and requires some effort and the will to adapt to the new environment. So I'm sure that I did my best to integrate here and satisfied that I've succeeded. At a later stage of my life, I settled down, got married, became father of two beautiful daughters, and studied human resources management.
Thank you, Erdal. Can you tell us how you first got involved with EURES?
When I first arrived in the Netherlands in the late 1980s, I had to learn the Dutch language from scratch. For the first 6 months, I took intensive Dutch lessons. But with a good command of the German language as a basis, I made progress very quickly. And it's funny that I still remember the period in the beginning that I had difficulties with pronouncing some Dutch words. After some experiences in joinery and tourism, I started working for the Dutch Public Employment Services back in 2001. First in job seekers and later in employer services. In 2011, I became a EURES staff member actually by coincidence. I got in touch with EURES staff from the same region where I was working in, and these colleagues informed me about the EURES network and the job responsibilities of staff members, and I have to say I was immediately enthusiastic and at the same time surprised that I've never noticed this interesting job before. So from that moment I followed the EURES network and responded immediately when a vacancy became available. And I can tell you that I was very delighted when I heard that I was hired. Shortly after, I participated in an initial training in Manchester.
And can you please tell us how a typical working day looks like?
Oh yes, at EURES we are blessed with a wide variety of tasks. No 2 days are the same. However, to mention some things, I can say that the most common tasks are email handling, appointments with job seekers and employers, job vacancy handling, meeting with colleagues from the Dutch Public Employment Services or EURES the Netherlands, preparation and participation in trainings and job fairs, as well as maintaining contact with colleagues from the network. At EURES, we are very mobile and therefore we spend a lot of time traveling. This is not always fun and efficient, but just part of the job. Fortunately, I can also work regularly from home these days.
That sounds really great. Erdal, what are some EURES initiatives that you are most proud of?
I remember during the global crisis, we mainly focused on offering job opportunities across Europe to job seekers from the Netherlands. That was our focus that time. Especially in customer service, we were able to help many job seekers to find jobs. Back then, but still today, there is a high demand for Dutch-speaking customer service staff across Europe. It was really interesting to see that these jobs and employers were spread all over Europe, from Ireland to Bulgaria and from Poland to Portugal. The second one, period was I look back with satisfaction on the EOJD event ICT Mobility Day Amsterdam, which happened back in 2014 and in which I was involved as project leader. I had already gained experience with the organization of on-site events at this stage, but never with an online edition. So I have to confess that it was a very, very exciting period, but at the same time also a very useful experience in terms of learning for me. Nowadays, we mainly focus on finding qualified staff for the Dutch labor market and work closely with colleagues from the network.
Has the nature of your job changed since you joined EURES? For example, with respect to technology, cooperation with the network and employers?
I can say yes. We all know that technological developments are also clearly noticeable at EURES. The available online tools make contact within the network and the events that we organize easier and faster. We also notice this with the training courses that we follow. Trainings are not only offered on site anymore, but already for some years also in a virtual space. I see them as added value for our way of working and the services that we offer.
And what challenges do you face in your job? How do you deal with them?
Due to increasing flexibility in the European labour market, we often collaborate with commercial parties in the field of matching and placement. We can see that the starting point for commercial parties and EURES in this topic is often not the same. Logically, they have financial motives, and we, on the other hand, want to stimulate mobility in the European labour market and value fair mobility the most. But I strongly believe that good partnerships are possible. But for this, I am confident that we need good agreements regarding the preconditions for cooperations are crucial in order to meet not only employers' principles but also ours.
Erdal, what do you believe is the added value of EURES?
Oh, this is easy. This is without any doubts. I can say that the strength of the EURES network is the most valuable. I get a warm feeling every time when I see the willingness to help each other in the network. The dedication of all members is just amazing. Just to give you an example, when we organized this EOJD event in Amsterdam, I just mentioned, we received a lot of help from colleagues from other countries who already organized online events before, and I'm still grateful for their support.
And on a personal level, what is the best part of working for EURES?
I always say that working for Euro suits me like a well-fitting suit. And I'm sure that my background helps me to empathize with people who want to move from one country to another. And based on my own experiences, I can emphasize with the importance of learning, for example, the language of the new destination. And every time I experience a lot of satisfaction when I can help people to find work in another country.
Finally, are there any words of wisdom or advice you would like to share with new colleagues across Europe?
I do. I strongly believe in the value of learning by sharing. Therefore, I would like to say to all new colleagues, be generous in sharing your experiences in the first place. And do not only share your success stories in order to make the network wiser, but to consider also to share your less successful ones as they are just as valuable.
Absolutely. Thank you, Erdal, for sharing your story with us today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Ina. Bye.
Thank you so much.